hands found a heavy iron ring set in the wood, and she yanked it. The door resisted a moment before it slowly began to swing inward with a creak so loud Aria was certain it could be heard all through the city. She opened the door just far enough to slip through into the hallway beyond.
Subconstants. I am a little late. I was having some technical difficulties with my website. That's still happening, but you know, I'm here now. Oh, and Constance, since you're here, I have after I taste the brownies, I'm gonna show you guys the caramel sauce that I did make. Thank goodness for yeah. I think this is I'm not gonna do a live stream next week because I'm going to release a brownie video and I'm going to release the caramel sauce video because the following week I'm going to release the caramel cake or cupcake video. So I'm just going to do 2 videos next week. Well, I'll do 2 videos like always, but the one video won't be a live stream. And I probably won't be doing live streams that much more anyway. Like, it's not really, I don't know. I do enjoy like sitting down and talking with you guys live and everything, but it's not really doing anything, I guess you could say. I don't know if that makes sense. And then plus it works completely different than an average video because like these, okay, so these are Keto Candy Girl pre-mixed keto brownies. So they were supposed to be a part of last week's. They're supposed to be, just I can't. You say you can't message me on IG? Really? I don't know what's going on with my stuff then. I know I just changed my, I did just change my link thing on IG. I don't know. I've been having a lot of issues with my stuff lately. I don't know. But yeah, see, these were supposed to be here last week. Oh, you can? Okay. You had me a brownie. Yeah, but these are supposed to be a part of last week's. And like I said, the thing with the lives and the regular videos, it's just, things don't always work out when you need them to work out at the time. And when you're dealing with a live, it has to be ready, or, you know, you're sitting there and you have to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Impromptu, I guess. I don't know. All right, so Keto Candy Girl, I followed them, Good Deeds, and I want to say, what is it, Kawaii or something like that, Creations or something like that. But there are a couple of different brands of premixes that are out right now. And this is one of these. Ooh, Jesus Christ. Keto Candy Girl isn't as big as Good Deeds mix. Like, of course, Good Deeds is all on Amazon and she has her own website. But Keto Candy Girl, she has her own website as well. And that's the only place you can buy it. But I will say, I think for the first order, you always get a discount. And the price, man, I forgot the price was, I want to say $13.99 or $11.99. Ooh, this is a sad day. Yeah, $13.99. But you do get a discount for your first one. And I want to say, like, I did bite one, of course. I mean, there's no way I just sat there and I ate it. And I mean, I made it and then just didn't try one when at first, you know, when they were still fresh. And I mean, they're by far like the fudgiest ones I've ever had. Taste wise, I'm gonna taste them again, but I that's what stood out to me was the fudginess. Like it really was. And the ingredients are almond flour, unsweetened chocolate, baking powder, cocoa, erythritol, sucralose, inulin, stevia extract, organic soy lecture, and vanilla gelatin. And the gelatin in the inulin, that's probably exactly what's causing it because they have like that may be a gelatin because the crust is when they're baking, the crust that comes across the top of the brownie is actually very shiny. I've never seen that before. The only time I've ever seen that was when I used gelatin in my brownie. I've never seen it before, but the only time I've ever seen it. Okay, that's contradicting, but we're gonna move on. Now these, unlike Good D's, the texture's far better, and they actually have like little chocolate chips. I literally just left the grocery store in basketball tournament. Yeah, it's Saturdays are rough. Yeah. I said I'm not. I'm very appreciative of you guys that come on a Saturday. Like it's 6 o'clock. I'm going to the movies later on. I hope anyway. I want. Maybe it's the kid in me, but I want to see Detective Pikachu. I've been wanting to see that. I don't know. I like Ryan Reynolds. Oh, let me taste the brownie. So this is the brownie in itself. They actually puff up a lot and then they get back thin, but that's typical keto stuff, I guess. Now they're not fudgy like the traditional brownie, but they give off a better with the mix of the fiber that they use and the gelatin. They give off a better fudgy aspect than just typical gelatin by itself, or the beef gelatin powder that we use. Konjac powder, I'm not sure, or if that's how you pronounce it, but you get far more of a chewy aspect or closer to the chewy aspect than you typically would get. The chocolate flavor is dumbed down a little bit. Well, I'm not gonna say dumbed down, but just regular using cocoa powder. And that's what like to me when you use regular cocoa powder in brownies, because okay, so you have cocoa powder and then you have the cocoa fat or cocoa butter that comes from the cocoa bean. When you're dealing with like 100% baker's chocolate, you don't there's no cocoa fat in it. So when you taste it, it'll taste like it's not going to taste like a typical Hershey bar or whatever that has the extra fat added to it. So they say a good mix when you're making brownies is to use cocoa powder and melted chocolate because the cocoa powder actually has more milk fat or cocoa butter in it because the melted chocolate has far less, but the melted chocolate brings more of oh hold up, the melted chocolate brings more of a how can I put it brings more of a chocolatey flavor. Let's see. Did you hear they accidentally started playing horror trailers in the movie Annabelle while trying to show? Oh, really, Detective Pikachu? No, I didn't hear that. Hi, does it have that dark chocolate taste, like a bitter taste? I am not a fan of dark chocolate. No, 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 no. It doesn't actually. So Good D's has more of that deeper chocolate flavor because they use Dutch processed cocoa. If you want like a lighter chocolate flavor, you want to go with regular cocoa powder. I'm going to release some new brownies next week that include the Dutch processed cocoa. But if you don't like that dark chocolate flavor, then regular cocoa powder is probably going to be far better for you because it's much, much more on the lighter side. Hmm. And I'm surprised because one little tip I used to use was I would add chocolate chips to it, the Lily's chocolate chips, because it would help round off the chocolate flavor inside of whatever you made, whatever baked dessert you had. It's how I pronounce it. Ah. So, okay, so you guys, all right, so when it comes to now, since I can finish off my verses, I guess I can say since I had both of my brownies here, when it comes to texture, Keto Candy Girl by far knocks Good Deeds out of the park because Good Deeds is very grainy. Like I said, they don't use almond flour, they use sunflower seed flour. And they say it's 1-to-1 or it's very similar. It may be clearly they say very similar because it's definitely not the same. Let's see. Is it really worth using sucralose in that brownie? Like, what about allulose? I would use allulose over sucralose because sucralose and aspartame, along with like maltitol and stuff like that, those are chemically made. Allulose is allulose is naturally sweet. You know, so it's a natural sweetener, or more so of a natural sugar, if that makes sense. Because you know, in my allulose video, I talked about how it's very similar to fructose when it comes to a molecular level. Oh, let me introduce it. So, Constance, I'm glad you said something about allulose. Okay, so here is my caramel sauce. And the funny thing about caramel sauce is, okay, caramel sauce is simply, it's 3 ingredients. That's all it is. 3 ingredient recipe is going to be your sweetener, heavy cream, and butter. Traditional caramel sauce, butter, butter, heavy cream, and sugar. Now, when it comes to, what's going on here? So now when it comes to traditional caramel sauce versus this one, and I'll explain all this in the video again. You get all your flavor from the brown butter in this. So it's pretty much essentially cream brown butter with a sweetener in it. Now, when it comes to regular caramel sauce, the sugar adds, or the brown sugar, or the typical regular, or the table sugar that you add to it, it'll caramelize and that will brown itself. So you'll get a different flavor with it. But just sweetening wise, this will give you an excellent brownie consistency. Brownie caramel consistency, and you can see like it's thick. That's real caramel. So I was trying to figure out why on earth they can't make this in the store, but then I thought about it. If you put heavy cream, if it's just heavy cream, butter, and a sweetener, it's not shelf stable. I almost said Candace. Yeah, you caught me. It's not shelf stable whatsoever. Now, when it comes to making this, you'll have the option between salted butter and unsalted butter. The salted butter has more of a salted caramel flavor to it, but unsalted butter is still good to me. I think so. And when it comes to keto brownies, like a topping like a caramel sauce or like a chocolate sauce, it will definitely help the flavor overall. But you can see, like it's the real deal, yo. I got this from I recorded the video last night, so. And the brownies, I keep saying brownies. The caramel cupcakes I made, I actually used that. I filled the caramel cupcake with that. So it's gonna be more of a, what's the word I'm looking? More of a oozing cupcake. Sweetener did you use in your caramel sauce? Allulose, granulated allulose. Because now, if you have erythritol or if you have monk fruit at the house, you can use those as well. But the taste is going to be different because erythritol is going to bring that minty flavor. See, allulose doesn't have an after flavor to it. That's why I specifically went and bought allulose just for that recipe. And I would highly recommend it if you're going to do a caramel sauce. It's by far. I took it to a friend of mine. Like I let her take it to her job, and the people just loved it there. They tend to like most of my recipes. Well, they tend to like most of my recipes. Brownies are kind of but most of my recipes they do enjoy. But that caramel sauce, that was like another level. What is allulose? Oh, I actually made a whole video on allulose last week, actually. So I made a whole video on allulose, talking about it, explaining what it was. But I'll give you a little brief thing on it. So allulose is so when it comes to regular table sugar, it's called. Have you heard of monosaccharide or disaccharide? So di is two. So sugar is made up of fructose and glucose. Glucose. What is it? Is it glucose? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But but when it comes to allulose, it's just one because allulose is derived from allulose is very similar to the fructose and sugar. You can find allulose in like things like I don't know. It's in funny tasting stuff like figs, prunes, raisins, things like that. You can find allulose in those. You can find allulose in those things. But what they do is they extract it out of that, and of course, it's not supposed to be broken down by the body. The funny thing, I think the biggest heat that people were giving with allulose when it first came out was the digestive issues. But anytime you're doing like a sweetener anytime you put anything in the body that it doesn't absorb, like it runs straight through you. So that's not fair when it comes to sweetener to me. Now, that's something you want to take notice when you actually put it into your dessert. Like you just don't want to just toss a whole bunch of sweetness into your dessert because it's not gonna help you in the long run when it comes to digestive issues, and it's not gonna help you in the long run when it just comes to just flavor, texture. It's not gonna help with those things at all. But yeah, I would highly recommend allulose when you're using thin things like that caramel sauce. I definitely recommend allulose. Now, if you use erythritol when you're cooking it, I'll break it down in the video. But erythritol will crystallize when it hardens. So whether it'll stay that smooth texture, like I made that last night. When you're making it, it's gonna be very thin. It'll thicken up as well. It'll thicken up over time from the cream and the butter, but you don't want to. Yeah, erythritol is going to get crystallized. If you cover it up, it may be fine. I'm not gonna say it may be fine. I know it'll be fine, but when it hits the air, it's going to change, and it'll get gritty afterwards. Like that. That's super smooth because the allulose melted down, and when you melt allulose down, it'll stay in that liquid state, or it'll get really sticky. Not like sugar, but it will get sticky. It'll be a thin, smooth, sticky liquid. If that makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, it actually is really, really, really good. So I have this. Like, suppose I'm shooting a video. Well, not a video. Excuse me, not a video. Videos. If I'm eating it, it's the real thing. But sometimes in photos, if you can see, both of these, I mean, they're pretty much similar, right? So if I'm making a photo and I know I'm not going to eat it, I'm not going to use, my expensive sweetener or something I've made that I can possibly eat down the road just to waste in a photo shoot. So I bought this, and the caramel sauce you get in the restaurant, like I said, it's going to be either brown sugar or regular sugar, or I'm sorry, not or brown sugar or regular sugar with a mix of cream and butter. But see, this to make it shelf stable is high fructose corn syrup, sweetened condensed milk, water, 2% of contains 2% or less of modified cornstarch, disodium phosphate, natural and artificial flavoring, sodium citrate, whole bunch of mess. Anyway, let's see. What about monk fruit? Yeah, you can use monk fruit too. But see, the thing about it, the granulated monk fruit has erythritol in it. That's what's going to throw it off. And this came out. I get about one cup to 1 1/4 cup out of this. It's 1 cup heavy cream, 6 tablespoons of unsalted or either salted butter. I would go with the salted butter, but if it seems a little too salted the first time you make it, then you can go with regular unsalted butter and just add maybe like an eighth of teaspoon of salt to it. And I only use a third a cup of allulose. I wouldn't go too hard on the allulose. Like, so the sweeter you teach your palate to the sweeter you make your desserts or whatever it is, the more your palate to get used to that. Like for instance, if you've been keto, let's say a year, and you haven't had any sweets, when you go eat like let's say an Oreo, that's always my go-to dessert. I swear. But anyway, if you eat something as sweet as an Oreo, like it's going to be very very sweet to you because you haven't had sugar. But for someone that eats sweets all the time, Oreo may not be as sweet as it is to you. So the more sugar you eat, the more tolerance you build up for yourself. So of course, when you first start reducing your sugar, nothing is sweet enough. That's why when you first go to keto desserts, it seems like it's just not sweet enough. But you'll start to notice over time, it'll start to get sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. So when you're making something like this, I wouldn't add a whole bunch of sweetener. Like you can put a whole cup of allulose in this, and it's not gonna disrupt it. Like that wouldn't be wise as far as your gut health. As far as because I can imagine just going straight through you. It might. Diarrhea, constipation, like bubble guts. What butter do you use? Just curious. I used a couple different butters. Okay, so if I'm just making desserts when I'm testing it out, I use the cheapest butter I can, just for cost efficiency. When I eat, I use a raw milk butter that I get from a farm. And if I'm cooking, I would normally use Kerrygold or grass-fed butter. But I'm not gonna say rarely, but I don't use butter too often when I'm cooking because the smoking point is so high. But my raw milk butter that I actually eat with the majority of the time, I normally just add that after the fact. But let's say, okay, so for this, I would definitely use Kerrygold. I wouldn't use my raw milk butter because it's not salted. That's one reason. But I would use something like Kerrygold. Something from Organic Valley has pasture raised butter or grass fed butter. I would use something like that. But what I recommend Keto Candy Girl, if you're somebody who doesn't like super, you'll get far more of a brownie texture from Keto Candy Girl than you will Good Deeds. But you'll get more of a chocolate flavor from Good Deeds. So which one's better? That's really going to depend on what you're looking for because they're both brownies, but they're in two separate worlds. But I'm excited for you guys. Like I said, I'm gonna put the caramel sauce video out next week because I'm going to start using it in some of my recipes. I've actually been going back reworking some of my recipes because now that I've built the skill of just creating them to be like flavorful and great and getting excellent texture. Now I'm trying to like play with the macros a little bit to make them more nutritionally helpful. You say you missed the brownie? Oh well, here it is right here. That's it, Keto Candy Girl. It's a that little breakage. It's not fudgy. Well, I'm not that it's not fudgy. It gives you the most fudgiest effect that I've seen in a keto brownie. I had one with the caramel sauce and some pecans, made a little turtle thing. Perfect. And with this keto caramel sauce, there is no aftertaste if you use allulose or xylitol. You can use xylitol too. But I hear there's two different types of xylitol out there. I guess you would need to read it and make sure it's not corn based. I said I'm going to try it again. I'm going to give it another try. but I just haven't bought it yet. I don't know. We're sitting at 25 minutes. I guess I'll go ahead and wrap this up. I'm gonna say it is Saturday. It's kind of rough out here. I do thank you guys for, like I said, it's Saturday afternoon. Most people like to relax and chill on Saturday. So for the fact you came out here, thank you so much. As I said when I first started, there won't be a live next week. Hopefully the live that comes the week after, I'll have my book in hand. So it's actually out right now, being created. When I release my book, I'm actually going to put an ebook out as well, a free ebook for you guys. And it's going to be comprised of 10 of my best recipes from the past 10 months of me having a food blog. Because I haven't been running a food blog myself for an entire year yet. But I'll put a free ebook out for you guys. And that one, it's just my recipes put together. But that one's going to be very simple. But for my cookbook, since it's actually going to be sold, thank you. So since that was going to actually be sold, I had to make sure like it has the bells and whistles and like it's beautifully set. So the guy is formatting it, making it look all nice, having the Sugarless crystal colors to it. Like it has the traditional blues and blacks. Well, not, yeah, it does have, yeah, blacks clearly. So the writing has to be in black. So it'll have that, it'll have those colors, making sure the pictures are bold and beautiful looking and everything like that. So whenever he gets that back to me, I can send it off to have a hard copy made. And after then, I mean, it's just pretty much, since I'm going to do a digital and hard copy, I mean, it'll be available. I'm hoping before June, but like I said, I'm waiting on the guy. I bought some xylitol years ago, but I've never used it because of my Furbies. Oh yeah, it is dangerous to dogs. Or is it dogs and cats? I was too nervous after finding out how dangerous it is for them. Is it bad for dogs and cats, or just dogs? Or animals, period? Yeah, so and I'm thinking when I release the book, for you guys that come in my live chats, I want to give you guys a special discount. So you'll get a special discount, and the only way you'll get it is if you're in a live that day, because I'm going to put it in the comment section, because after the video's released, no one can see the comments. So I'll put a special code in there for you guys that actually come view the live that day when I present it. So hopefully my next live I can have the book sitting right here so you can actually see it. Like I said, I think I have to give you guys a discount. I mean, because it means so much for you guys to take time out of your day to come here and sit with me on a live. Like I used to watch Keto Connect's Murder She Ate live, and now I don't have as much time to watch it now. I haven't seen one in weeks, but I know how hard lives are to catch when they're actually going on. So like I said, for you guys to do that, I have to give you something. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. We're about to hit 30 minutes. I guess I'll chill. Man, I'm probably gonna eat something. I haven't ate anything today. Well, I ate yogurt and a brownie. But I have two recipes I'm working on because I'm actually in the process of building my next cookbook. Now, this cookbook coming out right now is going to be strictly desserts. That's all it's going to be. But I've been working on my skill as far as being more than an entertainer, trying to be a bit of a chef as well. I've been working on those skills too. So my next cookbook will actually have not only dessert recipes, of course, the desserts will be highlights because that's what I've been best at. But they'll have actual like dinner and breakfast recipes as well. Yes, but I guess I'll see you guys in I'll see you guys live in 2 weeks, and I'll have a brownie video and a caramel sauce video for you next week for my videos. So thank you for coming with me on a Saturday afternoon at 6 o'clock, from 6 o'clock to 6:30. And I hope you guys have a great day. Or remaining great weekend. Go to the movies now. I'm going to see Pikachu.